Hey guys, how you guys doing? So welcome back to another interview, obviously. And I'm not doing this interview standing because I'm really lazy and I've been really tired working all night editing and subtitling the videos. So as you might notice, I'm not wearing my coat today, and that's because yesterday I dropped some food on it. And flashback to that. Yes, that is the sad state of affairs, guys. I really love my coat, and now it's dirty, and now I can't even wear it for my intros and ends. Anyway, guys, leave that. So, guys, this interview is a huge deal. So, this interview is with a friend of mine from my school, and like he's the smartest person in the entire grade, and he's very popular. So, his name is wait. I'm not going to ruin the surprise for you, actually. Why don't you guys watch the interview? And I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, so today we have the owner author of noddyswritings.com, Rishit Chakravarti. Rishit is a teenager. He's just turned a teenager this year. He is a class 9 student with a very reputed school in Bangalore, Whitefield. And we have seen his initial journey through the lens of noddyswritings.com. And so we thought it would be a good idea to interview him and evaluate what his thoughts are. Why did he come up with the idea of knowledgewritings.com? What are his thoughts when he does those interviews or those articles, blogs, and how does he see how to take the website forward? So, yeah, guys, this is Chakravarti. Let's get on with him. Hi, Rishit, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Good, Sumit. How about yourself?
I'm good. So, Rishit, Noddy's writings. What is the genesis of this website? Why?
Okay, so from childhood, I like public speaking and I talk like debates, I like MUNs, anything which relates to social problems and public public speaking. So these were like my three interests till, and they've still been consistent. And so I was looking for initially before Noise Writings, I was looking for a platform where I could post articles, stories, or basically any kind of literature to express my views on a social topic. And I never really found a reputed platform, and I thought, why not go ahead with um, making a website? And I'm not the one who's like coder. I'm not really interested in coding and all that sort of stuff. So I found this website, Wix, and I used it to develop my website, and now it's become nowadayswritings.com. And yeah, that's been the journey of Nowadays Writings till now.
Interesting to hear. So, did this lockdown in any way push you towards making this website, or was it like you would have made it anyway, even without the lockdown?
No, the website was like without the lockdown. With the lockdown, it's literally the same, because without the lockdown in place, so this has kind of been like a bucket list thing for me. And yeah, it's finally, and I thought it'll just be a hobby, but yeah, it's developed into something more than a hobby, and I look forward to continuing it.
Good. So talking about the lockdown, yeah, we know this pandemic, COVID-19 virus. There are a lot of words which are there in the social media or even in the public. So when you think about COVID-19, the pandemic, can you define what thoughts come to your mind in single words? It can be There can be 10 words, there can be 15 words, but single words. What does the pandemic mean to you? Pandemic, lockdown, coronavirus mean to you?
Economic recession, death tolls, uh, worldwide suffering, boredom. Yeah, that's about it.
Good points. Boredom, social distancing. Did you say?
No, I don't mess with social
Okay.
distancing.
Okay, not social distancing. So, do you think social distancing has played a major role in how this pandemic has played out?
Yes, because like if you take case studies, especially let's take Italy and let's take India. Like India, the moment like the first three cases or five cases came out, they were really strict and really quick with their actions, and right now we have like the least number of cases. But if you look at Italy, they were really late to implement the social distancing strategy, and like they're like they're like in the top two countries, the top three countries with the highest number of cases right now. So I think social distancing may be the most vital part in preventing the entire pandemic.
Uh, so, but we also know that you had a very close shave with this virus personally. Can you describe what was the incident? How did you have a close shave with this virus in your initial when the initially this virus was spreading in Bangalore? In a few sentences.
Oh, okay. So I used to go to tuition. I used to go to tuition nearby, and one of my friends there, her dad came back from abroad for I think some business trip, and she had the virus, but even she didn't realize it. And I think we spent like I think three tuition classes together, and yeah, that's kind of been kind of the personal touch for me, and nothing else after that. That's till where it has gone.
So when you got to know that you went to a tuition with the same girl whose father was infected, and later on she was also infected. She was found positive, right?
Yes.
So she was found positive. What thoughts crossed your mind?
Nothing actually. I mean, I think at that time I was really little sick. So the only thing that came to my mind is I could not go to play football with my friends. But other than that, I wasn't scared of like I'm gonna die or something's really go bad will happen to me. I'm gonna get locked down in like a hospital quarantine. It was just pretty cool.
So even after reading so many negative things about the virus and the pandemic and lockdown, you weren't really worried about yourself.
No, because like I looked up statistics on it, and it was like 6% death rate. Like I mean, like if you're gonna get scared and you'll be anxious about 6% death rate, then like you're just throwing away all the time you have in quarantine, which you can use for like many more productive things.
Well, that's a quite a very positive way of thinking and taking on life. I'm sure a lot of our audiences would love to hear your positive way of tackling the situation. And what was the thoughts which were or what was the discussion amongst your friends about the pandemic? Did they get scared? Were they getting anxious? Were their parents getting anxious? What kind of discussion did you have with your friends?
So I really don't know about their parents, my friends' parents, because we didn't speak about their parents a lot. But some of my friends were really anxious, and I would try to talk. I would try to talk them down, explain to them that take your precautions, and then everything will be fine. Don't need to get so anxious. Then in our school, like they canceled the exams for grade 1 to 5, and they didn't cancel it then for us. So we were the only thing we talked about in the pandemic. We were not talking about the virus and us dying. All we cared about is that our exams get cancelled. So that was like we were like, bro, how can a school do this? How they removed school exams for grade 1 to 5? They didn't do it for us. But yeah, at the end of the day, it got removed. So yeah, after that we were all happy.
So, kids of your generation or your age are more concerned about the exams
Exams.
getting cancelled
Yes.
rather than how this pandemic will affect them or the
Yes.
families. Okay, okay, that's interesting to know. That's quite interesting to know. And what were those anxious? You said some of them are really anxious. What were their dialogues or what were their comments?
So they were basically scared of the fact that um, that the virus might enter their house and they'll be infected, and then they'll be quarantined, and eventually they'll die. And that was basically what they were thinking. They were thinking on the negative side of it, and I would try to teach them, show them the positive side, and I think yeah, they did understand after one point of time.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Any of your friends got infected?
Yeah, I just told you about the girl.
Other than that girl, anybody else that you know of?
No.
Okay, great. So, how did your school handle the pandemic when they got to know that one of the students who was also going to the tuition with you was infected? How did they handle the situation initially?
Okay, so I'll tell you what happened. So the day I think that news got released that the girl has the virus and all within the school premises, I think what they did was they released a half day, which basically like, at 12 o'clock you go back home, and that was something everyone was very happy because no one likes school, as always. And after that, I mean I don't know. After that, school was closed, and I didn't even go to the school. the day when they announced the half day because I was like sick and I was like tired. So I really don't know what actions the school has taken, but I know that they have cancelled the exams for like till grade 8 till now, and they closed the school down as well. I think they're taking online classes for grade 10 right now, grade 10, 11, 12, and that's been about it.
Okay, so now, Rashid, we know that you are, at least you have a habit of reading newspaper and keeping up yourself abreast with all the latest news on a daily basis. So, what's your thought on the pandemic and the lockdown at present, which is almost we are almost like in India, we are almost at a month of a lockdown. Today is 21st, right? 21st of April. The lockdown was announced on 23rd of March. So it's almost been a month since we are in lockdown. What's your thought now? How do you see the world? How do you see the world behaving, and how the world reacting to the pandemic at this stage?
Okay, so what I think, first of all, that India, I think only India, I don't think beyond May 3rd it will be able to contain the quarantine because we're a democracy, then people will just, stop protesting. The reason for that is, guys, don't quote me on this. Um, in 2019 towards the end, until then India was the fastest growing country. Like its GDP was the highest growth rate, like approximately 7%, and then it slowly started falling down. We came down to second percent. I think China did overtake us, and then after that it slowly started decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. And last time I read it was like 5.1%, and now like we've literally like the entire world is like almost shut down. Like we can't do anything. Like I even went out today to get groceries, and I could see that the entire streets were empty. So I think after May 3rd, India will have to come back. Now, regarding on the entire global standpoint, I think countries like China, America, and anyone with a amazing economy will still continue keeping quarantine so that they don't have the virus spread. But I think countries like India will have to, you know, go back to normal after May 3rd, because countries like America, China, and the big ones with the big economies can still sustain themselves, and after the quarantines end and when they find the vaccine, they can still go up they can still go up the table. But India will take a very long time to do that, and if then quarantine is something that's already slowed down the process. So I think after May 3rd, I don't think the government should keep the lockdown, because then yeah, people start protesting.
No, so what is the first thing if the quarantine is really removed on third fully? What is the first thing you will do?
Meet my friends.
Come again?
Meet my friends.
Meet your friends, okay? And when you meet your friends, what is the plan you guys are making?
See, we've gotten to the point we're going to meet each other. I'm not gotten to the point of what I'm going to do after we meet each other. So, like, maybe we'll just hang around a mall or something, grab some food and.
But the way things are, ma'am, I mean, they are panning out. Malls do not seem to be opening for a long time. That's all. That's what it feels like.
Then maybe, at someone's house or something. Because, like, yeah, that's been like in discussions over the pandemic, that's also been like one thing. We need quarantine to get over. Because, see, this thing has ruined our entire summer vacation. Like, it has blown out of the water. And, like, meeting each other was like the top summer bucket list, and that thing has like been like eradicated from the entire list. So that's something we plan on getting back on.
Okay, so social distancing will go for a toss.
Yeah,
But that could prove quite precarious.
I mean, you're meeting 5 friends. How much of a danger is it?
Okay. And how do you think the other countries, like in European countries, initially there was a resistance towards going for social distancing, but then when things really probably got out of hand, they had to forcibly adhere to social distancing. Do you think if social distancing was implemented earlier in those couple of European countries, things would have been better for them?
Yes. Because, see, I think the good thing about the European countries is they have this thing called the European Union, which is basically a legally binding intergovernmental organization. And that is something that really strengthens the entire continent of Europe, be it military, be it economically, or any other side you take of it, they're really strong. So I think that was something that they could have used to some extent. I don't know how, but some power, some extent, to implement the social distancing quicker.
Alright. So another thing which probably, correct me if I'm wrong, you might be having some more information. Do you think this disease somehow has affected more of the developed countries rather than the underdeveloped or developing countries? For example, we hear deaths and infection from entire Europe, US, Germany, UK, China, um, and because we live in India, yes, definitely from India, but we hardly hear too many news of infection and death from underdeveloped countries like Bangladesh, maybe, or maybe Nepal, or developing or smaller developing countries like Myanmar and Chile and Paraguay. We're not getting too many news about what's happening in those countries. So, do you think, or do you have some information if this virus is attacking the affluent country and the affluent strata of the society more than the lower ones?
I think yes, because obviously in a developed country you're gonna have more businesses. More businesses means more employees. More employees means it's gonna be travel, and that's travel is the biggest way this virus is being transported right now. And like in these undeveloped countries like Myanmar and Nepal and Uruguay and etc. The travel is not really that much significant as an industry because first of all the populations are low and these countries are pretty self-sustaining, and their GDP per capita is also pretty low, which basically means that the family has more as think about the meals per day rather than going on to other countries or continents for business purposes. So I think that's something that has affected the developed countries and the underdeveloping countries.
Okay. And so now, how do you see this thing? I mean, is there an end to coronavirus, or how does life change moving forward?
I think like smallpox was something that the smallpox, let's just take smallpox. Smallpox was a disease that was there in the world for like I think 2 decades or something. And like we all knew that but then smallpox vaccine came out. And ultimately we spread it so much, we had so many resolutions, there's so many discussions on it that smallpox has like been eradicated from the world, and there are like I think two places, I think CDC and a storage unit in Russia. That's the only two places I think you can find a smallpox strain. And I think that's ultimately how coronavirus will pan out. If not, it'll become something like AIDS, which is something there. It's something that's really deadly, but it's just gonna have to live with it. And especially since the fact that AIDS is really like AIDS will almost kill. Like the mortality rate of AIDS is in like 85 to 90%, and the statistics have proven that coronavirus is like just 6 or 7%. So I think coronavirus will be like a smaller brother of AIDS. But it'll just be there. People will just be less scared of it. The only thing is right now it's spreading really quickly, and it's being across all over the world. It's becoming like a pandemic. AIDS never became a pandemic. It was mostly an epidemic, even if it did happen. And that's how it's going to affect the world because AIDS is not curable, but AIDS does not happen in such large numbers. The moment this lockdown is done, social distancing has become a part of our lives. That's when the entire hype about coronavirus is going to go down, and the economies will start going back. Offices, jobs are going to start coming back to people. Industries will settle down. Hopefully, India's economy again starts rising, and that's what's going to be after the pandemic.
As a youngster, you sound really, really positive, and that's a very healthy sign for our growing economy. The youngsters are positive about it, and they are going to go about and change the world. So, this incident is once in a lifetime for many generations. For your father's generation, for your grandfather's generation, and absolutely probably for your generation also. This is a one in a lifetime kind of a situation. What did this incident or event uh, teach you, which you will carry throughout in your life probably?
There are many things. Like if I just had to highlight something, I would say one would be patience. One would be patience, because the fact that um, see, it's you're sitting at home for like 40 days. I mean, in summer vacation, that's what we've been through every year. But with summer vacation, you can go out like almost anytime you want because your mom and dad are not going to stop you because you've just given the exams and you can like literally go out anytime you want. But over here, like, you have to stay home, and many of my friends are bored. Like they'll be like, "Bro, I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm bored." And I think patience is one thing that'll be key here. Another thing will be distraction. How well can you distract yourself from the boredom? Like I work on my website. Like I think 8 hours a day sleeping, 2 hours for meals. I think the rest of the time, like 14 hours, I'm just working on website. Be it website designing, be it these interviews, be it this, um, you know, uh, blog posts which I've really not done for a while now because of the interview thing. That's how I keep myself distracted. I keep researching. I keep finding out ways to make my blogs better. I keep finding out grammatical mistakes in my blogs. I keep editing them. I keep making new channel art for my YouTube. I keep making new profile pictures for my Instagram and Facebook. So that's how I've been distracting myself, and I think I'm not saying everybody should go make a website about their hobby, obviously not. But I think they really need a hobby right now which they could use like art. Dancing also is even option taken because like people usually have big houses these days and everyone has a Bluetooth speaker and they can just dance. Singing is another thing that you can practice right now because we all have the microphones in our amazing smartphones, and we all have the voice recorders, we all have the hard disks, and singing again you can something on work on. For me, I like this website has been everything I do in this entire vacation and going forward. Or like I think I miss MUNs and debates most, and we guys like I've been planning about this on my website as well. We can have debates and online months, which I will give more details about in future posts and videos and stories as well. And yeah, so I think distraction is one more thing. Then other than that, I think mm, it would be
So by distraction, you obviously mean how you're keeping yourself
yeah,
occupied.
positive distraction, not negative.
You're keeping yourself occupied.
Occupied,
You're keeping
occupied
yourself occupied. Okay.
in a productful manner. Not just texting your friends every day or just binge watching TV or game.
So yeah, texting your friends. So that's not part of your daily activity at all.
Nah, very less.
Okay. Okay. That's very interesting to see here because kids at your age they're mostly into social media and Instagram and so on and so forth. So you're not too much into Instagram
No.
and chatting and all,
No.
which is really heartening to hear from. You're probably one of the different ones. I hope your friends, your friends when they see the video, they'll edit it. They're not too much into Instagram messaging.
No.
They'll edit it.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
pretty sure, pretty sure.
Great,
Think so.
great.
Yeah.
But you
And
have a smart, you had a smart smile, so I was less like, what do you-
no, I do pretty less. Like I keep working on my editing. That's mainly what I do.
Okay. So and what did your friends? What has been the contribution of your friends in this website and this development and its
Okay, so yeah, that's something I want to talk about. So I think this website would not be like be it small, be it big, or wherever it is today without my friends, because they were really contributing to it. Like one of my friends, the initial logo, she I would ask her opinions, I would ask her for designing help, and she really helped me with it. Then another friend of mine, he stepped up, he helped me with some pointers, he helped me with some research, and all together, like all of my friends have really come together and helped me promote this website, shared it with their friends, like their friends, and yeah, I mean, I'm thankful to all of them for supporting Noddy's writing, and I hope they support it till when it ends.
Okay, and so any going forward, anything you're expecting from your friends in terms of the website, etc.
Going forward, I think I really consider my friends to be smarter than me. I mean, I'm smart, but they're like smarter. And I would say that I've been looking forward to like right now. I think just one day ago or 24 hours ago, I put a post about what I could do next after this entire interview series is over on my website, be it in the form of blog post, a video, you know, audio recording as well. I really don't mind it. So I've been looking for their ideas, and I think I've got one or two great ideas, and I've been really waiting forward for more to to see that what can I do with this website, how can I take it ahead, and I think Noddy's writings is what it is because of their support, and I've really been looking forward to their work.
So you said that you have a couple of ideas about what next events or programs
Yeah.
to do in the website. If you can share a couple of them, the thoughts which you have for the next.
So I'm going to be brief because
Yeah,
well,
you need to brief, yeah.
so I think I've told you about the online months and the debates.
Online months and debates, okay.
So that's currently a little bit of a hassle because I have to see the hardware technicalities of it as well. But it's been showing positive, so we're doing a little bit tests and a little bit researching, a little bit setups, and yeah. So that thing is something I've been looking forward to. Obviously, I'm sure all my friends will step forward for it. And then after that, I've been asking people to give me ideas for blog posts because something that I feel important about may not be what they feel important about. So I've been asking their views. What would they like maybe any topic they would like. Absolutely, be it social, be it economical, be it something related to the military, be it something political. So I've been waiting for their answers to come in. After that, I think there is one more special interview left which I cannot say for reasons you will understand.
So special interview with some special personality.
Yeah.
Okay, we look forward to that. We look forward to that. Okay.
Thank
Great,
you.
great, great. So you said how you are spending your day 24 hours in the lockdown. In your family, what all are you as a family doing to spend your time in the lockdown?
Okay, so we have something called family time, which is like family time where you just spend time together, you can talk. In family time, usually me, my dad, and my mom discuss my website, future plans, a little bit editing over here, a little bit editing over there, some designs, some future plans. Like in this online Manan thing, I've been really working out with my dad to see how the hardware part of it is going to, get fixed. Uh, with the entire family, if you take, I think we play a lot of board games. We play cards. We watch movies together, and then yeah, my dad also takes my intros and endings of each interview you see. And yeah, I think that's how we've spent. I think Naughty's Ratings has also been a view where, or not even a view, a place where all the family comes together and works together for it.
So you're saying the entire family is engaged in somehow or the other
Yeah.
building Noddy's writings.
Some towards the creative, some towards the
dot com,
working.
the website.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to say to your viewers, or we can probably wrap it up for today?
I think the only thing I'd like to mention is why I think Naughty's writing is special, because I've been seeing a lot of blog post websites. I mean, there are many. They're like way more bit better than me. They have bigger audiences, but I've seen very less blog post websites whose target audience is the youth of the generation, and that's where I think Naughty's writings is different because when I started out with Naughty's writings, I think see basically what target audience is basically who are you targeting? Like every company they have a target audience. If you look at the apparel clothes, they have different subdivisions in the corporation. Some will someone's target audience will be teenage, someone's target audience will be men, someone's target audience will be women. So my target audience is teenagers as a whole, or the youth of the generation, cause their points and their views are something that's more critical right now. Because see, climate change has already come into the world. I mean, 10 year a decade is all we have left. So right now, what they do about it is more important. Because see, we are all like, not to be generic on anything, we're more technological savvy. We can go on the laptop and like search something 2 minutes, up in 2 minutes, where maybe our parents will take like 10 or 15. And we have that. We understand things better, I feel, in some manner, and that's what is really important. That's what is really critical as of now because I think one problem that we should all address is climate change, because like if you have a decade left, that's the one thing you should focus on the most. I mean, there are obviously other more prominent topics, but climate change is something that should be the biggest of them. And right now, their views, like what does the young generation think? Maybe we should ban cars. Maybe we should get only electrical cars. Maybe we should use flying cars. We need to know what they think. That's what's more important right now.
So yeah, so interesting thought. I guess two things which I picked up from this last couple of sentences is one, how your generation thinks, or at least you think that you are more tech savvy than your parents, and the other thing is the young generation is quite grounded or quite focused on the environmental change thing and how it impacts the whole world as such. Maybe in some future discussion with you, we can have a discussion around climate change, or probably you can involve some of your friends as well in this discussion.
Online one.
Online one or online discussion where your friends who share similar thoughts can share their views about climate change and how to go about it. It was nice talking to you, Rishit. And yeah, yes, carry on with your website, amazing. Noddy's writing .com. We see it becoming bigger and bigger and tackling or at least focusing on topics which are relevant to the youngsters of your age. And yes, all the best. And I think you're doing a fantastic job. And I'm sure all your families are extremely proud about it. So thank you, Rishit. Thanks. Nice talking to you.
Thank you, Smith, for this wonderful interview. Really glad to be here, and yeah, even I hope Noddy's writings does succeed one day.
So all the best. Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I got you guys good. So, guys, this interview is basically about me and my views on the entire situation. And I really don't have any kind of ending for it because like it's a 30-minute interview. So I mean, like anything I need to say, it is already mentioned in the interview. And on a sad note, I would like to say that this is the end of the entire interview series. It's been an amazing journey over the past like 2 weeks. You know, I learned editing on Final Cut Pro, on like many applications. It was really fun to stay up till like 3 o'clock in the night and work on them. And overall, the experience is really fun because I learned about how the pandemic has affected so many different kinds of people. And I hope you guys enjoyed the entire series as well. And thank you guys for watching. And also, guys, I will be keeping these interviews on my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram, and the website. The links for which you can find in my Instagram bio, and you can find in my menu bar on my knowledgeartist.com. And also, guys, like now that we're done with the entire interview series, I will be looking forward to you guys sending me ideas. Like, what do you guys want to see next on Noddy's writings? It can be a monologue, a dialogue, a podcast, a video, or anything you guys would like to see. Just let me know, let your creativity run wild, and then we'll work on it together, guys. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.